Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cold Outreach Success Stories, where we interview regular business people just like you who've had a lot of success with cold outreach on email and other channels. We go deep into the process with hot tips around personalization, targeting, and messaging so that you can take away some tips to implement in your cold outreach starting tomorrow. Today, we have Andrea Fonsmorti from Red Recruitment. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Hello, nice to see you guys, and thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Let's get right into it. What does Red Recruitment do and how do you guys make money?
Yes, we are a recruitment company. Actually, we have three agencies. The core agency is Red Recruitment. That's a permanent placement company working in a headhunting solutions B2B. Then we have a marketing agency, and then we have a small software agency that is integrating pre-existing solutions or new solutions into our clients' portfolio of daily tools.
Interesting.
And exactly in this case, SalesRobot was a great addition.
Great. We'll talk about that as well. But first, let's start with your clients. What type of clients do you typically work with, and how do you find them?
Well, I would say we usually work with big multinational companies, 90% of the cases, but also some small and medium businesses. 90% of the times we're talking about clients who need to expand on some new markets. We have a great focus on Europe, so obviously that's an interesting and quite complex area where English is the main language, because obviously communicating within 27 countries, you need a common language.
Right.
And usually the best English platform to meet around these people is LinkedIn. We're talking about very different industries. In terms of software, I would say we're talking about a lot of small, medium businesses that really don't have capacity, money, and understanding on how to automatize outreach. Obviously, we combine it with some consulting services as well. It's not usually only a tool, but some consulting services to understand how to get the best out of these tools as well.
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense. All right. So LinkedIn is one area where you find these people. Let's get deeper into how do you convert them? How do you get them to talk to you? So what kind of messaging have you seen work well, especially in Europe, which I know can be a difficult geography to do business in? How do you get people to talk to you?
Well, I would say first, what is really, really important before the message is the branding. Okay, so branding your profiles, have a very clear message, and make clear what you are there for, what you're selling, what you're on the market for. Mm-hmm. That is very important, because nowadays I can see a lot of confusion, and also there is some kind of misconception that we should hide somehow the selling intent in order to explore the buying intent. Yeah. This is something, I mean, probably in some cultures might be true, but I couldn't see anything more stupid to do in selling and reaching out for sales to other people. Your profile as a company and as an individual is the business card, and you should definitely nurture it in the best way possible, in the clearest way possible. In the messaging, we usually try to understand what we are selling on behalf of our clients, or what our clients need to sell to other companies. And we try to set up a multi-step approach that usually starts from LinkedIn, connection, message connection, or a connection plus a message, then comes with invitation to some short webinars like these ones that we are having, or to visit some assets, and then obviously we add on top some follow-ups, reminders. So you need to set up a cadence, exactly like people used to do in CRMs like HubSpot and so on. You need to imagine that your market is LinkedIn, your space is LinkedIn. You need to set up cadences, and for this reason, having outreach automations and scheduling tools is exactly the key to success. I would say the first message usually it's what is the product, also because we might have several products that might be interesting for them. And this is also true for recruiting. And when we talk about jobs with candidates, we don't split there on the message. What is the link? What is the job title exactly? What is our client, and what is the salary? We just ask if they would be interested in looking into new job types, job functions, new challenges. In sales of software, we usually ask them if they are usually having a problem, and what is and if they could feel as well the same problem. Also because it's very useful to understand what type of webinars, LinkedIn events or LinkedIn groups to create or to involve, to coagulate a second step interest. And after a second step interest, we then obviously make it even more clear. We come up with a solution, we contact them, and we go there with a bit more of a clear intention. Like, look, I see your problem is, for example, automating LinkedIn outreach. Probably, you want to look into this solution. Obviously, there are a lot of other solutions on the market, but this one is probably useful and price effective compared to other enterprise solutions as well. So it depends on the size on the industry, on the other person who you're talking about, because can be marketing people, can be sales people, and these two have usually a bit of a different understanding of how to outreach to the market.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very interesting. It's very interesting that you mentioned that in the second step, you're not really pushing them for a meeting, right? You're pushing them towards a event or towards some content that you want them to consume. So I've been seeing this approach become more popular recently, where you're not really pushing people, even though it's a sales, it's a sales conversation, but you're still trying to educate them or give them some value a little bit before selling. So that brings me to my next question. How do you personalize this whole sequence, or are you a fan of personalization in general?
Yeah, usually we personalize a lot, but without exceeding, because we know that LinkedIn might have some kind of not outdated information, but probably not maintained information. It's not a problem if you use not maintained information, although, I mean, these people mention those informations on their profile, so there is no problem with it. But I usually try to avoid the industry, the company they are currently working at, because some people really put them without caring too much about the right choice. But I definitely use name, first name, our profile information, also eventually some signature, something that helps us not only in customizing, but also in automatizing the customization, because we have around usually 10 people reaching out at the same time, and we don't want to create a campaign, a new campaign for each of them. So creating more or less a template that is fine for 10 people that are doing, let's say, a coordinated campaign or a rotated campaign, that's the best. I would say in a second, third message, you can definitely probably use some more customization about the industry, about some skills, about some company names or common mutual connections, because once you have a bit more of a connection, even having a mistaken message, it's okay. In some cases, it can be a great value. in some cases can also become a mistake. So we try to avoid it at the first step, even because if you receive a message that says something very strange in the beginning,
Yeah, you're not.
you get paralyzed. You're not even going to answer because, you're working, you're doing other things. You have kids crying in your car. Probably you're taking them to school or back home from school. So don't be too neural, too intellectual in what you're writing. In the end, we are talking about people offering solutions to others to make money, to be more secure, be more notorious in what they do. So I would definitely not make it too intellectual or philosophical.
Makes a ton of sense to me. That brings me to my next question. Mistakes. What are some of the mistakes that you made when you first started doing cold outreach?
Well, I would say the mistake usually it's always generated about not filtering properly the contacts you are targeting. Although you try to do it in the best way, there are always mistakes. A bit because we can't put attention to details always at the same level. At the same time, also because LinkedIn sometimes gives you back some search results that are really, really bad and not relevant. Yeah. It has a search engine that probably was conceived 10 years ago and never maintained, and actually gets even worse.
Right.
We can see it gets even worse. Recently, they also limited the operators of Boolean search, so it makes it even a bit more challenging to
Correct.
specify and drip down to a niche of people you're looking for. At the same time, other mistakes might be about totally missing some answers, and that's a very big issue, because sometimes we are suffering so much in looking for new people, and we can see some answers. Sometimes it's a software issue or some caching issues with LinkedIn, but you totally forget them, and you actually found somebody who really wanted to have a bit more information about it. Another mistake is definitely giving up after the first 100, 200 people, and that's something very common that I can see, because who didn't do outbound sales or outreach massively in their job, usually they start already with some kind of a timid approach, and after that, it's like they're just looking for those 100, 200 no's to just give up. It's especially in the enterprise level. I work in the enterprise level a lot. I can tell you that outbound sales is a very common practice, and usually has a conversion rate within the 3 and 10% in best cases in best industries. Okay, so if you contact 100 people, I would be very surprised if more than 5 people wants to have a conversation with you. Especially consider that not everybody is waking up in the morning with your same priorities. So you need to have the patience to, and we can see that even after 6 months, sometimes we get an answer because people doesn't have LinkedIn app on their phone. Some people doesn't really read the emails like we do every day or every hour. So it's absolutely understandable to not receive results immediately. But it's, let's say, also on the big numbers still with relevance when we talk about a pool, but it's still an activity that goes on big numbers, and it's very efficient because it increases the sales. Even if something is sold very well in inbound, it increases the sales and the margins anyway. So it's an activity that tries to explore the market, also to listen to people, what type of challenges they might have. Maybe you're just selling wrong products or with wrong features, or maybe there are some features that you could develop.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's one of the most underrated learnings that you get from outbound marketing, right? The language, the language that really resonates, the language that gets people to reply, because you can use that language later. You can use that language on your website. You can use that language in your sales collateral. So it's not just a sales exercise. I also feel it's a learning exercise. You're learning about the market and taking that learning to improve your business. So I feel it's a great way to sort of be in tune with your market.
It is. It is. It's a way to talk to the market and understand. You know, if you really don't get results, maybe you should reevaluate your strategy, your channels.
Yeah.
That's great to have feedbacks, to have a failure. It's a great feedback.
Awesome. That brings me to my next question. What are some of the things you're excited about trying to improve your cold outreach process?
Well, I would say it's the fact that it's a kind of automated process helps in thinking that you get some statistics out of it, some numbers, some data, and trying a kind of A/B testing, let's say. It's always, as we said, a great way to talk to the market, understand which of these versions. And at the same time, it makes you feel also better that you didn't have to write to 50, 100 people one by one. And believe me, I'm especially in recruitment. I'm in the industry since a while, and I've seen people doing it, and it really kills you. It really kills you. Actually, I've seen people owning a $5,000 LinkedIn premium licenses for recruitment and not using it because they couldn't even understand how to use tags or similar things. So having data out of an automated process based on human interaction, it's probably one of the best and exciting things that you can do in this activity. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me. All right, Andrea, thanks so much for coming on. Those are all the questions I had. For the listeners who want to find out more about you, where can they find you?
Well, they can visit redrecruitment.eu and or Red Recruitment Group, and we are happy to get contacted. Whatever is your need, from people to tools to how to talk to people in a massive or best way, feel free to contact us. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Thanks for hopping on, Andrea. So that's all the time we have, folks. I really enjoyed the episode. I hope you did too. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you can to spread the word out about cold outreach success stories so more people can enjoy and learn from the show. All right. That's all, folks. Bye-bye.